Tonight, a stolen detonator exploder has the potential to cause a fatality, and Port Augusta Council withholds support for Pitchy Ritchie. Good evening, thanks for joining me. Also making news tonight, a decision on the future of Port Pirie's Abattoir months away, and police calling on the public's help after overnight robberies. But first tonight, Port Lincoln police are searching for a detonator exploder stolen from a quarry property at Louth Bay on the weekend. It was stolen when vandals tore through the property. The device is capable of causing death.
Police say vandals entered the Louth Bay quarry sometime after 6 p.m. on Saturday. Tearing through the property on motorbikes, they caused extensive damage to machinery, equipment and sheds.
The motorbikes, although we haven't got any descriptions, we believe they were males riding the motorbikes from information received, and also that those motorbikes might have headed into Louth Bay.
Police are concerned about the safety issues surrounding the detonator.
In itself, if it won't explode, however, it will generate a lot of ampage, and if it's held correctly or used incorrectly, it will give off the shock to the operator, and that could result in either death or very serious injury.
For owner Vernon Hargie, it's the second time in 3 months an attack on his property has happened. Only this time the vandals caused more than $3,000 damage.
But this time they've come in, they've gone really on a rampage, they really smashed the place up,
He says it's very depressing and very frustrating.
The life's pretty hard now without getting all this happening.
Police ask anyone with information to call Bank SA Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. Alexandra Fremantle, Southern Cross News.
Port Augusta councils refuse to continue funding the Pitchy Ritchie Historical Society until it improves its management practices. It's calling on the organisation to seek professional help.
Historically, councils provided $40,000 to $60,000 of in-kind support each year to the tourist attraction. $2 million also invested into the Stirling North Railway line and renovations of the NM25 locomotive. With no formal connection to the incorporated body, council's withholding its support.
We're more than happy to get back on track, if you like, if I can use that analogy, and support them. But we need to see some changes within their organisation.
Concerns over financial management highlighted recently with the release of 2004 figures, which show an $85,000 deficit.
I think everybody is behind Pitchy Ritchie Railway. We all, including council, would very much like to see the operation running very smoothly.
Council's requested a change in the organisation's constitution, ensuring their monetary contributions recognised. Council also backing the linkage report undertaken 2 years ago, which recommended the organisation seek professional help. It says better management of track maintenance, rolling stock and insurance will improve passenger safety and protect board members from liability.
We've certainly indicated to council that we're happy to address these issues. We have transitioned in some respects already. It's a matter of extending that a little bit further in the years to come.
Matt Neagle, Southern Cross News.
Following last night's story on T&R Pastoral's meeting in Port Pirie, the Regional Development Board and Council say they're committed to assisting the company in its evaluation of the site. The new owners say it could take months before a decision's made, but the board's promised to keep former employees up to date. Yesterday's meeting, a step in the right direction.
Face to face yesterday, they're a very professional firm, and providing that this site stacks up through the investigation phase, there's every possibility that they will do something here.
T&R Pastoral snapped up Port Pirie's Abattoir less than 2 weeks ago, but they're in no rush to see its doors reopen just yet.
It's too premature to put a date on anything because, again, I keep coming back to if that operation is to be successful, it needs to be viable and it has to have a long-term view. There is some major change that needs to happen within that plant itself.
T&R is the 6th largest meat processing company in Australia and exports products to major overseas markets such as China. Mr Thomas says millions of dollars needs to be invested in Port Pirie's abattoir to meet the health safety standards of its international trading partners.
If you're to access their market, you have to process on site, then you have to further value add and bone out the product on site. It has to be frozen on site, for example. Unless you can do that, you're unable to export to that country.
More than 70 former employees have sought help from the reference centre since losing their jobs, and they'll stay informed during T&R's investigation.
Early next week, we'll summarise the information that's come out of the meeting on T&R's intentions, but we'll also summarise what we're doing in terms of putting together training packages and relocation assistance packages.
Meanwhile, the Meat Industry Employees Union says it will file court action against Conroy's in the next few days for failing to pay entitlements to sacked workers. A man who snatched a bag from a 73-year-old woman was caught shortly after the incident. The offender was apprehended after running from the scene thanks to quick thinking by members of the public.
The morning attack happened while the woman was standing in Jervis Street outside the Coles shopping complex. Her handbag forcibly pulled from her grasp.
Obviously it's a pretty nasty type of offence, and especially for a victim so elderly.
The offender fled on foot with a female witness in pursuit, following the offender into the State Liner bus depot where staff were alerted of his alleged crime.
And one of the witnesses actually went into the depot and advised the staff there to hold the person, telling him what he'd done.
Another man involved in the initial chase returned to phone police. A 21-year-old Port Lincoln man's been arrested and refused bail.
Obviously targeted what he would have considered a soft target in an elderly woman, but as I say, he probably wasn't aware that we had some very vigilant members of the public who assisted us greatly, and also the victim.
Police thanking the public for their help.
Through their efforts, we've got he's a repeat offender from Port Lincoln. We've got him off the streets.
Matt Neagle, Southern Cross News.
Meanwhile, Port Pirie Police are calling for the public's assistance in their search for a person of interest following a series of break-ins. The break-ins and thefts happened in the Warrabra and Wilmington areas overnight. The man's described as about 5 feet 4 inches tall, of stocky build, aged in his 30s and believed to be wearing a dark coat. Anyone who may be able to assist police in their inquiries can call Port Pirie Police on 8638 4000. Coming up next, major works at Zinifex on track, and the Broken Hill Y gets its $50,000.
Isuzu, servicing the north and west of South Australia, sells the complete range of Isuzu trucks, plus DAF, Fiat vans and commercial vehicles, truck and trailer parts and service. See us today for all your trucking needs. We have what you want. Port Augusta Isuzu, National Highway 1.
Progressive sale. This once-a-year sale commences 17th of July with 10% discount, increasing each day by 2% until they reach a massive 50% off. That's right, half price from Wednesday 9th to Saturday 12th. Save up to 50% on gold chains, watches, diamonds, gifts and more. Everything in store discounted. Sale starts 17th of July and finishes Saturday 12th of August. Only at Leading Edge Jewellers, Whyalla and Port Lincoln.
And save at Homemaker's huge $5 million stock clearance. Huge savings across our lounge, dining, occasional bedroom and entertainment ranges. Remember, when there's stock to clear at exceptional prices.
There's no place like Homemakers.
Kennets of Kadina Hardware and Electrical bring you this week's Red Hot specials. MTD Yardman, Red Hot only $549. 5 horsepower front tine tiller, Red Hot $990. MTD petrol line trimmer, Red Hot only $269. MTD 13.5 horsepower ride-on mower, Red Hot only $2,499. 16 horsepower ride-on auto drive mower, Red Hot only $29.95. So get in early for your Red Hot special at Kennets of Kadina Hardware and Electrical.
It's full steam ahead for Zinifex's 1 in 20 years shutdown. Significant groundwork has been carried out in the blast furnace, and later this week production will cease in the sinter, acid and slag fumer plants. What you're looking at is a crane that can move up to 180 tonnes. When you team it up with an extra 180 contractors, you're well on your way to getting maintenance work done. And that's what's been happening here for the past 2 weeks.
Right now we're in the process of rebuilding the blast furnace itself. We're also in the process of rebuilding the continuous drossing furnace, which has been a massive undertaking. So the demolishing is completed in the blast furnace and we're now in the construction phases.
In simple terms, the blast furnace is the heart of lead production and it's been in dire need of a touch-up. Already the heath has been replaced. Steel framework will soon be installed in phase 1 of the fume capture system, which will ultimately reduce lead dust emissions.
At the end of this week, the sinter acid plants and the slag fuming operation will cease, and major refurbishment will now commence in those plants at the end of this week. So we've got another significant influx of contractors coming this week.
But it hasn't been all smooth sailing. There's been a few minor delays with the blast furnace and some contractors haven't been given the right timetable. With up to 350 contractors on site at one time, safety has been a big focus. Everyone who enters the site must submit themselves to a mandatory breath test.
To this point in the shutdown, we have tested over 800 people a day have gone through that process, and at this stage there have been 20 positives in that length of time.
In early August, Mr Corley meets with the executive 10x10 team in Adelaide. Part of his report will include the major works undertaken during the shutdown. Port Pirie Police are calling for witnesses to an incident at the Super Cheap store at 3 p.m. on Sunday. It's alleged 2 men entered the shop and one of the men threatened staff and customers. 1 man has been arrested. Anyone who was in the store at the time should contact the local station. Members of Clean Seas Management were in Whyalla yesterday to discuss the future of South Australian aquaculture management. The company currently in a period of due diligence before seeking to take over the business.
The Port Lincoln-based company is keen to ramp up SAM's business and secure the long-term future of the industry in the region. Clean Seas Chairman Hagan Steer and Managing Director Marcus Steer meeting with Council to outline their future plans for the site.
We will bring our knowledge and we will bring our infrastructure with us as well, and we'll do things bigger and better than what they've done in the past, and we're looking at increasing the volume tenfold over the next 2 to 3 years.
Mr Steer says if the acquisition goes ahead, it'll be a big boost for the region, particularly SAM's current staff, which Clean Seas hopes to retain.
Not only will we keep the staff, but we will employ other staff too, because there's one thing we won't be doing, we won't be standing still. It's got the opportunity to really be a major centre for us.
Clean Seas also looking at plans for Council's proposed commercial boat harbour. Mayor Jim Pollock says the company will come back to Council with any required changes, while discussions on any financial contribution will happen at a later date. Mr Steer says the acquisition's an important step for the company.
It'll be a win for us, it'll be a win for Clean Seas Tuna and its fellow shareholders, and also for the local people and the local region, and we can add to what they're already doing quite well here.
Sean Kelly, Southern Cross News.
The New South Wales Government will help Broken Hill's YMCA, pledging $50,000 to the centre. The move comes as Council's decided to review its motion to help the Y, but member for Murray-Darling Peter Black's remaining wary of the changes.
A long time waiting. Finally, the state government agreeing to help the struggling YMCA, providing $50,000 funding on one condition.
I'll be doing what I can to match the City Council. I respect the fact that the City Council has decided to come to its senses and is reviewing its attitude with respect to the debt. So I'll have $10,000 on the table to match the first $10,000, and whilst I can't commit a future government, we will go down the track of matching 10 for 10 for the next 5 years.
Council will review its current motion to help the Y at a special meeting tomorrow night. Mr Black's expecting councillors to reconsider the deal, which includes deferring the repayment of the debt owed by the Y, but he remains cautious.
Of course I'm wary. I don't trust the City Council at all. Simply put, they have to change it such as the loan is a debt against the building being sold. Simple as that.
So if they don't do that, if they just change...
All deals are off.
The money from the state government will be program funding and help the Y continue running holiday programs. That decision will determine if the centre can reopen.
No government would give money, as it were, to a third party, in this case a private party, if that grant was going to be used to repay a debt to someone else. That's nonsense. We don't work like that.
Francesca Belperio, Southern Cross News.
Stay with us after the break. The drought continues in New South Wales and a major redevelopment for a food store in Whyalla.
Now today's cash classifieds. 9 out of 10 Australian businesses have their own websites. Do you? Get a quote today. Visit spencergolf.com. Evans Hourglass Jewellery progressive sale on now. Daily discounts apply. Thursday, 41% off. 20 Alexander Street, Port Pirie, next to dry cleaners. Membership tickets for Whyalla Show close soon. Get yours in Westland Shopping Centre Thursday, July 20, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Scrapbook Supplies Stocktake Sale, Port Pirie Red Cross Centre, Thursday, July 20, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. One day only, next visit August. Prest's School Holiday Special Clearance on bike and skateboard accessories, model plane and car parts, trampoline pads and toys. Prest's, Port Pirie. Financial Solutions for Seniors, free morning information session at Pirie Red Cross Centre, July 25. Phone 1300 139 822. Details in Recorder page 3.
Darling, did you know that 6mm plate steel can handle over 600 degrees Celsius? And did you know that ceramic glass melts in excess of 850 degrees Celsius? And did you know that refractory...
You're watching Southern Cross News. The drought in New South Wales is worsening despite the June rainfall. Latest figures show 94% of the state is in drought, including areas surrounding Broken Hill, Dubbo and the South Coast.
Devastating is how the New South Wales Farmers Associations labelled the latest drought figures. 97% of the state is drought affected, with drought declared areas jumping by more than 25%.
We have had a particularly bad time now since circa 2001. The top 5 PP boards in Western New South Wales remain drought declared. It's a desperate situation, one that we have not seen in Western New South Wales to the same extent. We have to go back to the drought of the Second World War years to find anything of the like.
While the state government's assuring farmers that drought support programs remain in place, President of the state's Farmers Association, Jock Laurie's calling on the state and federal governments to urgently reassess the situation.
Nothing's going to change given the fact that we've had a miserable time up to the end of June. There will be a reassessment, not, I hope, at the expense of the federal government's contribution to drought. The state government is now, principally in the form of transport subsidies, over 220 million, and I would hope that the federal government would hope to match that insofar as Western New South Wales is concerned.
This past weekend, most of the state, including Broken Hill, received between 20 and 50 millimetres of rain. And while any wet weather's good news for farmers, the weekend's falls weren't substantial enough to create significant runoff into dam systems.
This last rain is the best rain we've had in the Broken Hill district for one heck of a long time. It still needs follow-up, and needs follow-up to get runoff. But I can assure your viewers that this is the best thing since sliced bread so far as a lot of people are concerned.
Current forecasts indicate additional rain for this week, but most of it will be along the coast and not in Broken Hill. Francesca Belperio, Southern Cross News.
A proposed $1 million redevelopment of Whyalla's Foodland supermarket could revitalise the eastern end of the city. With the development also proposing several specialty stores, it could become a new shopping precinct for Whyalla.
The proposal will see the demolition of the old Geddes and Mitre 10 buildings on Essington Lewis Avenue, completely transforming the ageing site. The new supermarket will be 1,600 square metres, with the development also incorporating 5 specialty stores and 95 car parks.
As it currently sits, it's the only supermarket sort of east of Playford Avenue, and I think it would be a great boost to this part of the city. It'll certainly satisfy the needs of residents and tourists, if you like, in the eastern part of our city.
The current site, which has historical significance as the old Geddes building, will be completely removed. However, developers plan to retain the existing pylon sign and incorporate it into a trolley bay. Mr Pollock says a decision's yet to be made on whether the plans will be approved.
It is currently before the Development Assessment Panel, and it was due to be heard in council at its last council meeting. Unfortunately, the chair of that panel was unavailable, so the matter had to be adjourned. And what we'll do, we'll fast track that now and perhaps hear the panel's thoughts on it this coming Monday.
Mr Pollock says it's further proof of development continuing unabated in Whyalla.
We can see no relief in sight, which is a really good sign, and we're very proud of the way Whyalla's going at the moment, and the development just keeps increasing. And you know what I see on the horizon and on the radar is more to come. It just increases by the year in millions of dollars, and I'm sure the next financial year, 06-07 and beyond, will see a marked increase in further development.
Sean Kelly, Southern Cross News.
The weather's next, but first we'll take a short break.
On Postcards, Service Centre is your four-wheel drive specialist, repairing and maintaining all two and four-wheel drive vehicles. The team quality workmanship and friendly service is second to none. Augusta Four-Wheel Drive Service Centre stocks ARB equipment, Old Man Emu, IPF, Safari, TJM, Black Widow and Kmart parts and accessories, and is your dynamic turbocharger authorised fitter. Everything from recovery gear to roof racks, bull bars and spotlights. We can fit out your four-wheel drive today.
Hills Med Centre offer great service and advice, stocking a large selection of steel products cut to suit. Fencing, sheds, rural, industrial and domestic. They supply a large range of BOC gas welding equipment, safety clothing and footwear, as well as being agents for glider roll roller doors. They're a Stradco Outback dealer. No job too big or too small. See the friendly staff for a free no obligation quote. Hills Metal Centre, Port Pirie and Port Augusta.
Here in Kenya.
To the weather now, and temperatures today in Broken Hill and Clare 12, Port Augusta 16, Port Pirie 17 and Whyalla 14. On the satellite photo, cloud associated with a cold front is visible southwest of Western Australia. On the charts, a southeast to northeast airstream associated with a high will produce fine weather over South Australia tomorrow and Friday. Winds will turn northeast to north on Friday. On Gulf waters, east to northeast winds 8 to 13 knots, seas are half a metre with a swell of 1 to 2 metres on southern Spencer Gulf. The outlook, northeast to north winds 5 to 15 knots. Overnight temperatures, Broken Hill 4, Clare down to 0, Port Augusta 2, Port Pirie 4, Whyalla 3 and Port Lincoln 7. Then tomorrow a mainly fine and sunny day across the region, Broken Hill 15, Clare 13, Port Augusta and Port Pirie 17 and Whyalla 16. And now looking ahead, Broken Hill Friday morning frosts, then sunny and 14. Mostly sunny and 15 Saturday. Sunday the chance of a shower or two. In Clare it will be foggy before clearing up to a fairly sunny day on Friday with a top of 12. Cloud will increase on Saturday, then 13 degrees with showers on Sunday. Cleve mostly sunny and 14 Friday, 15 on Saturday and then 16 with showers for Sunday. Port Augusta, mostly sunny for the rest of the week, temperatures around 18 degrees. In Port Lincoln, mostly sunny and 15 on Friday. Saturday, late showers and 16, continuing through to Sunday. Port Pirie 16 and mainly sunny Friday. Saturday cloud increasing and 17 and staying that way for Sunday. Whyalla Friday mostly sunny and 15, cloud increasing and up to 18 on Saturday. Then Sunday mainly fine and 17. Woodner Friday mostly sunny and 16, Saturday and Sunday both 17 with showers creeping in on Sunday. And now recapping tomorrow's top temperatures, Broken Hill 15, Clare 13, Port Augusta and Port Pirie 17 and Whyalla 16 degrees. And that brings us to the end of the Regional News Bulletin for this Wednesday night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. For now, it's good night.